In the country of France, they have just elected a new president by the name of Macron. Now, the reason I'm talking about the French presidential election is because that it was highly publicized internationally. It was a very, very controversial election where the centrist neoliberal candidate by the name of Macron won the election with 65% of the vote, and he defeated the far right nationalist candidate by the name of Le Pen, who got 35% of the vote. Now, the way that the French election system works is that they have like a first round of voting where they have like a whole bunch of parties, or not parties, but people running from various parties, and you have to reach a certain percentage threshold in order to win in the first round. And if no one wins in the first round, then they move on to a second round. And those two people I guess, is basically a simple majority, and then they win. Now Macron won, and I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, but basically Macron would be like the American equivalent of Hillary Clinton, a centrist neoliberal, and Le Pen, who was a far right nationalist, would basically be the French equivalent of Donald Trump. But from what I read, Le Pen is a much, much, much more intelligent version of Donald Trump, which, I mean, if you've seen Donald Trump speak, that's not really that big of a deal. But the key issue in the French election was whether or not France would stay in the European Union. And the reason that the membership of France was such a heated, tense issue was because of the immigration from the Middle East and Northern Africa into various European Union countries. And there's been quite a few terrorist attacks that have been happening in France and across the European Union. And a lot of people wanted to close the border to immigration. And those people more than likely voted for Le Pen. And the people that wanted to retain the membership in the European Union, wanted to or they voted for Macron. And once again, I don't know if I'm saying his name properly. Honestly, it looks like macaroni or something like that, but no disrespect or nothing like that, but I think it's Macron. And so he won. Now, my view on the way that the European Union does immigration is that they need to have, or excuse me, if they want to fix the immigration problems they're having in the various EU countries, is that they need to have a system in place where it's basically the United States immigration system under President Obama, where you would have to go through a process that would, make sure that you are not a person who is like a terrorist or a criminal or wants to do violent harm to people or something like that. I feel that the American process under President Obama worked quite well. And I think that Donald Trump's immigration policy is extreme, and I disagree with it. But I also think that having it where everybody who shows up at your door could just come in, I don't believe in that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm more like in the center. I think that there should be a higher priority for people who are going to college or majoring in various STEM fields, things like that. But I think that you need to have some sort of moderation when it comes to immigration, because you just can't have millions of people coming in and there's the proper checks and balances aren't put in place adequately. So that's all I have to say about the French election. Congratulations to the victors, and to the people that lost. Hey, better luck next time to you. I honestly don't really have much of an opinion on who I would rather have. I mean, obviously, I would say that I would prefer a centrist banker over a far right fascist or whatever. But it is what it is. I mean, I think that France needs to have someone like Bernie Sanders, because I think he understands the issues quite well. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and have a nice evening. Peace.